right, Sandy Petty. I've actually got two today.
You do? I have a petty.
Okay, I have a Sandy. I'll do Sandy first.
Okay.
I've been watching Ripley on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
You told me about this. It's next up in my queue.
It's so good. It stars Andrew Scott, who played the hot priest in Fleabag season 2. He's incredible, first of all. Just an incredible actor, and you really get to see him portray this like complete psychopath in Ripley. Secondly, it's shot in all black and white in this way that makes you know as like a viewer that the filmmaker loves old films. Like it feels like you're watching something that was made with like care and thought. And then also it's all in Italy, and so it's just like beautiful. Like the way that he shoots Naples.
That's what we need.
It's beautiful. And it's also very like there are some really long scenes of Ripley in a pickle where he doesn't talk and he's just trying to like figure out how to like clean up a mess, or like, you know, I'm not trying to give anything away, but I think most people saw The Talented Mr. Ripley, where he's trying to like, I've done something bad. How do I clean up after myself? And there's like long scenes where he's not talking at all. And it's just riveting. And I can't explain why. It's like my comfort show, even though it's about a crazy guy.
Whatever. I can't wait to get into it.
It's so good. Why don't you go with petty?
Okay, Erin, here's my petty. So obviously, because I follow the pasta grannies and I've liked some posts about Sophia Loren, I am now served Al Capone content because all Italians are the same. And many people will know Al Capone, one of America's most notorious mob bosses, bootlegger, a killer. But Erin, did you know that he is the reason we have expiration dates on milk?
What?
Wait for it. After his niece became extremely sick from spoiled milk, the gangster lobbied aggressively for expiration dates for the safety of children and pregnant women. And like, you know, after that, he started a dairy business, but okay, fine. He's allowed to do that. Then I read that Capone ran a soup kitchen during the Depression that served 2,000 meals a day in Chicago.
Wow, that's interesting.
Okay, so all this to say, I think Al Capone's a better person than Donald Trump.
I think probably he is. Escobar had a similar civic streak in Medellin, Colombia. Like if you fly into Medellin now, I haven't spent any time there, but I like transferred flights there once. It is gleaming. It is like a really yeah, because he needed the protection of like and goodwill of people in the town, so he like invested a lot in like the city infrastructure and like yeah.
That is a lot of what, if you continue reading as I did about Al Capone, that obviously some of this was like PR, but at the same time, I'm like, Donald Trump went down to Puerto Rico after a hurricane and just launched some paper towels into a crowd. So it's like, I'm all for people doing things for PR if it's nice and helps people. So I was sitting there late at night having like night sweats, and I was like reading about Al Capone, and I was like, wait, I think Al Capone's a nicer person than Donald Trump.
That's interesting. I also think that like, I mean, ultimately this is going to sound really bad. Like that old, you know, that tweet that's like, you do not gotta hand it to Hitler or whatever, you know that?
Right. Yes.
Right. Al Capone he killed some people, which isn't great, but
Valentine's Massacre. No, I am not saying he's a good person.
He's not a good person.
Saying I think he might be a better person than Donald Trump.
Right. And I think maybe the only reason Donald Trump hasn't killed people is because he is scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, whatever. Stay scared, pony boy. Here's my petty. I've talked about Miss Rachel on this show.
Love Miss Rachel.
Miss Rachel is literally our generation's Mr. Rogers, and she makes content on YouTube that people can access for free. She includes all different kinds of faces and voices in that content, and you know, has been a voice in favor of like LGBTQ rights. She's gone to Washington to promote paid family leave and affordable childcare to all. And I think like a week and a half ago, she started raising money for a Save the Children fund that was going to go to kids in Gaza, Ukraine, Sudan, and Democratic
War
Republic.
zones.
Yeah, Democratic Republic of the Congo. And she was doing that by just making cameos for people and donating all of that money, which is like, is there anything objectionable? There's nothing objectionable about that.
No.
But she was bullied in response to that by Zionists and people who have a problem with her giving to a fund that supports children in Gaza, or even mentioning Gaza. That is the impression that we've gotten. That's shitty. That's shitty.
Helping kids is where is the crime?
Yeah.
Where is what? I think I've donated to Save the Children for the 20 years.
It's just like, that is just the brainless, the most no-brainer thing. Like, children shouldn't live in war zones. It's horrible.
No.
Like, so she, put up a video about being bullied where she was crying. And one thing that I found kind of inspiring about it was the wave of content I was served in response that was like, we ride at dawn for Ms. Rachel. And the amount of support and love that she has. And she's been back on social media. I think that she wasn't chased away by the bullying that she received. So that's a good thing. But like, if you're bullying Miss Rachel, you have lost the plot.
100%.
You've 100% lost the plot. She's wonderful, and don't you dare fucking make her feel bad.
Don't leave Miss Rachel out of your mouth.
Leave Ms. Rachel alone. Okay, that's those are my final thoughts before I leave on maternity leave.